Baruch atah Adonai, thank you, God. Baruch atah Adonai, thank you, God. Thank you for
Toys.
And thank you for
Love.
Thank you for
Air.
And thank you for
Your home.
Baruch atah Adonai, thank you, God. Baruch atah Adonai, thank you, God. Thank you for
Clouds.
And thank you for
My family.
Thank you for
Music.
And thank you for
Candy.
Baruch atah Adonai, thank you, God. Baruch atah Adonai, thank you, God. Thank you for
Light.
And thank you for
Earth.
Thank you for
Flowers.
And thank you for
Rainbow.
Baruch atah Adonai, thank you, God. Baruch atah Adonai, thank you, God. Thank you for
Animals.
And thank you for
People.
Thank you for
Water.
And thank you for
Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, thank you, God. Baruch atah Adonai, thank you, God.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Chag Sameach. It is not only Shabbat this evening, but it's what do you call it? Simchat Torah. We're going to rejoice, celebrate our Torah, and rejoice with the Torah. Shalom, Rabbi. How are you today?
Good. Shabbat Shalom and a Chag Sameach. Happy holiday. It's great to be with you. Those of you who are with us, I see that some of you are on Facebook Live. Say hello. And if you're with us on other platforms, you can say hello too, but I may not see it right now. So we'll start with a song to get us started.
Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Everybody, hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. One more. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Shevet achim gam yachad. Shevet achim gam yachad.
Yes, how good it is to be together. We'll sing a little bit more and then we'll light our Shabbat candles.
Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, yabbi babbi babbi bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, yabbi babbi babbi bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam.
Let's turn to lighting our Shabbat candles. And you can see them there behind Cantor Paul. We make one circle for ourselves, one circle for our family, one circle for all the people in the world, and we join in our blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kineshanu v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat v'shel Yom Tov.
And now we're going to continue with Baruch Hu. We skip Lecha Dodi this evening because it is a festival evening as we move into Simchat Torah. And we stand up if you can, or sit up straight in your chair for our call to prayer, Baruch Hu.
Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Baruch hu et Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'en. Adonai Hamivorach Hamivorach leolam va'en. Hamivorach Hamivorach leolam va'en.
We connect ourselves to the Holy One and to everything that exists in the world, all people and things. We join in singing Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'en. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'en. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
We continue with our song of freedom, Mi Chamocha.
Yada die 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 yada die 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 yada die 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 yada die 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 yada die 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 yada die 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 die. Sing along with me now. Yada die 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 yada die 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 yada die 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 yada die 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 yada die 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 yada die 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 die. Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot. Oh say fella, yada die, yada die 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 die, yada die die die, yada die 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 die, yada die die die, yada die die die, yada die die die. Die, 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 die.
We are, this is a time in our service where, and every service, if we were in the sanctuary, we'd take our Torah out and walk around with it and sing about it. But tonight on Simchat Torah, we would really dance around with our Torah. So we're going to sing a couple of Torah songs right now to get in the mood for Simchat Torah. If you're at home, you can dance around to the music. You can clap your hands along with our Torah songs.
So this is one you can, there's a lot of yada dies at any of these songs, but here's one. It goes like this. I like the other key better, I think. I'll take it, make it smooth. Yada die 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 die, yada die 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 die, yada die 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 die, yada die die, yada die 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 die, yada die 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 die, die 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 die. Dance with the Torah and sing out a song. Dance with the Torah, sing all day long. Torah, Torah Sheli, Torah, Torah Sheli. Everybody with me, yada-dai. Yada-dai-dai-dai-dai, yada-dai-dai-dai-dai, yada-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai, yada-dai-dai-dai. Yada-dai-dai-dai, yada-dai-dai-dai. Yada-dai-dai-dai-dai, yada-dai-dai-dai. Yada-dai-dai-dai-dai, yada-dai-dai-dai-dai. Yada-dai-dai-dai-dai, yada-dai-dai-dai. Yada-dai-dai-dai-dai, yada-dai-dai-dai-dai. Yada-dai-dai-dai-dai-dai. Dance with the Torah and sing out a song. Dance with the Torah and sing all day long. Torah, Torah Sheli, Torah, Torah Sheli, Torah, Torah Sheli, Torah, Torah Sheli. Torah Sheli means my Torah, and the Torah is each and every one of ours. We all find ourselves somewhere in the Torah. Eitz Chaim hi lemachazikim ba v'tomcha me'ushar. Eitz Chaim hi lemachazikim ba v'tomcha me'ushar. Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it. All of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it. All who embrace it are happy, 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 happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. 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 Or Avinu Chai, Or Avinu Chai, Or Avinu, Or Avinu, Or Avinu Chai. Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, 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 Am Yisrael Chai. 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 Oh, de Avinu Chai. Oh, de Avinu Chai. Oh, de Avinu Chai. Oh, de Avinu. One more time. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Muted, Rabbi.
Am Yisrael Chai, the people of Israel continues to live, continues to be here and create Jewish life. And I'm going to share a story with you now. So, it's about a city,
And in this city, there were 2 synagogues. One synagogue stood in one of the oldest neighborhoods in town. It was once a very wealthy neighborhood. It had an imposing edifice with great golden doors. Inside was a beautiful sanctuary with a great ark, and the ark had 2 golden doors on it as well. And within the ark were dozens of Torah scrolls wrapped in golden velvet and adorned with golden crowns. The synagogue was exceptionally beautiful. It had everything that is, except for congregants. Almost nobody ever came and visited. Almost nobody came to pray or study or celebrate. Except on holidays and very special occasions, the synagogue was empty. Each week, the rabbi would come by, open the building, look around to make sure everything was in order, and then close the magnificent building for another week. The other synagogue was different. It was in a poor part of town. It was broken down building with cracked walls and doors that squeaked. But it had congregants, hundreds of them. They came each Shabbat, old people, young people, mothers, fathers, children. They came because they loved Torah. The members of the congregation were so poor that they couldn't afford a Torah scroll. But they didn't want to admit this to their children, so they took 2 sticks of wood and a long piece of blank parchment and pretended it was the Torah. They used an old crate covered with an old curtain for an ark. An old man who was blind served as the reader. Years before he had learned the Torah, memorized it in fact. He could recite the entire Torah by heart. So each week the old man pretended to read from the blank parchment to crowds of people who listened intently, hanging on every word. Between the readings, congregants discussed and argued the meaning of every phrase. Torah was their life, and nothing gave them greater joy than to discover its meaning. One week, the rabbi of the old, large synagogue arrived at the temple. He opened the great golden doors, switched on the lights, and slowly walked around the stately sanctuary. Everything was in order. Nothing had been disturbed since the week before, or the week before that. As he was about to leave, he heard a noise, a scratching sound. He listened. Then he began to seek out the source of the sound. Was it a bug? A mouse? He searched everywhere until he found the source of the sound. It was coming from the ark. Pressing his ear up against one golden door of the ark, he listened. Not only did he hear the scratching sound, but he also heard voices. Voices? Was someone in the ark? He grasped the huge handles and slowly opened the door, just a crack. The door swung open, flinging the rabbi back. Out of the ark came swarms and swarms of letters. Like big black bees, the letters flew off the Torah scrolls and poured out of the ark. At first, the rabbi swatted at them, protecting himself from the onslaught. Then he stopped and watched in amazement. There was a sharp whistle as a huge black letter Aleph stepped forward. As the Aleph sounded the order, the letters formed lines in the manner of soldiers. Alephs and bets and gimels and dalids and hays began to march in formation to the cadence called out by the huge Aleph. Harum tum tum, parum tum tum, parum tum tum. The rabbi couldn't believe his eyes. Stop, he yelled. What are you doing? The Aleph signaled the letters to halt, and the lines of letters stood at parade rest. Stepping forward, the Aleph addressed the rabbi. We're leaving, he declared. Leaving? The rabbi asked, not quite believing that he was carrying on a conversation with an Aleph. Why? Why would you want to leave? Look how we've treated you. We've dressed you in velvet and crowned you in gold. We honor and protect you in this magnificent ark. We show you our highest reverence and respect. It's true you respect us, Rabbi, but you don't love us. Your ark is a prison. It's not enough just to dress up a Torah. You must open the ark and open yourself to Torah. Rabbi, we're lonely. We need people to read us and learn from us and celebrate our teaching. The rabbi was shocked to hear those words. He pleaded with the letters, please don't leave us. Don't abandon us. Rabbi, replied the Aleph sympathetically, we're not leaving you. Long ago, you left us. We're going where we are appreciated. Now, please, Rabbi, move out of the way so we can go. I won't, the rabbi protested in desperation. I won't move. But the letters just said, too bad, and 50 gimels Their kicking feet swinging wildly charged toward the rabbi. He held up his hand and ran away from the attack. The Aleph whistled and commanded, "March forward," and the lines of letters advanced. All the rabbi could do was watch in dazed wonder as the letters jumped off the Torah scrolls, formed lines, and marched in cadence out of his synagogue. At last the final Tav marched out. "Where are you going?" the rabbi called out. The Tav held out a hand and said, "Follow us." So the rabbi followed the army of letters as it marched through the streets, up the avenues, across the town. At last they reached their destination, the doors of the small little synagogue. It was the moment of the service when the Torah is lifted. The old man stood and slowly hoisted the pretend Torah, and as he turned to show the scroll to the congregation, the doors of the synagogue burst open. The congregants gasped in awe as the troops of letters marched, led by a huge Aleph, harum-tum-tump, harum-tum-tump, the old man holding the blank Torah aloft, not knowing what had happened. As the letters arrived on the parchment, they found their places, arranging themselves in words, and then in verses, and finally in columns. The old man felt the Torah becoming heavier. He set it down and ran his fingers across the parchment, feeling the letters and the words. He looked up in wonder. "It's a miracle," he announced. "Our Torah has become real." The congregants surged to the front of the sanctuary to see the real Torah. Somebody began a song. The old man picked up the Torah scroll and began to dance. Soon everyone was dancing and singing and lifting the newly inscribed Torah overhead. The rabbi stood in the doorway watching the scene. He couldn't believe what he had witnessed. First the letters marching, then the attack of the Gimels, and now dancing with the Torah. He had never seen people dance with the Torah. To him, a Torah was heavy and solemn and had to be honored. One couldn't dance with a Torah. The rabbi slowly walked through the room. The weight of his seriousness immediately snuffed out the joy in the room. Everyone stopped dancing and singing and stared at the rabbi. "How can you dance with the Torah?" the rabbi asked the old reader sternly. "The Torah is holy. The Torah is heavy. The Torah must be revered." "How can you not dance with it?" answered the reader joyfully. "The Torah is our life, our joy, our gift to our children. Here, hold it in your arms." And he handed the Torah to the rabbi. It had been a long, long time since this rabbi had held a Torah. He was surprised it wasn't heavy at all. He felt the warmth of the Torah infusing his body. A smile came to his lips and tears came to his eyes. And then he heard a voice from within the scroll, the commanding voice of the Aleph. It said, "Dance." His feet moved as someone began a song. He danced around and around, arm in arm with the reader. Soon everyone was dancing and singing. Led by the rabbi and the reader, they danced and danced the whole day. The next Shabbat, as the congregants arrived at the little poor synagogue for the service, there was the rabbi, sitting in the very first row. As the Torah was read, he strained to catch the depth of each word and to understand every phrase. And when it was time to lift the Torah, the reader called him to the bima. The rabbi again lifted the Torah and he held it for many minutes. And once again it was wrapped. It began the dance again. Around and around he danced until everyone was dancing with him. And so to this very day, the rabbi from that big synagogue spends every Shabbat at the little teeny poor synagogue, sitting in the first row, listening, pondering each word, argues with the reader about the deeper meaning of the text, and receives the honor of lifting the Torah. He waits to hear the great Aleph issue the order. Dance, dance, and dance he does with the Torah in his arms. Now, as soon as Cantor Paul is back, and there he is, we'll sing something now, and then we'll move into our priestly blessing, our family blessing for the end of our service. For first, a song.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom to you and all my friends. Shabbat candles are burning bright. Look at them. Shabbat candles burning bright. Shabbat candles are burning bright. Let us know it's a Friday night. It's Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom to you and all my friends. Well, Shabbat challah is good to eat. Shabbat challah, good to eat. Shabbat challah, it's good to eat. It's a special Shabbat treat. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom to you and all my friends. With Shabbat day, it's my favorite day. Shabbat day, my favorite day. Shabbat day, it's my favorite day. It's the day that I get to say Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom to you and all my friends.
All right, friends. I hope you're all doing well. Just so people know, we do have tomorrow morning a 10 a.m. Simchat Torah morning service with Yizkor memorial prayers as well. Otherwise, please check your congregational email that came out on Thursday for all the various things that are going on this week. Intro to Judaism is starting very soon, as is my I Engage class, which begins this week, which is Separate and Apart, Jewish Peoplehood. That's going to be a 10-week class, and Intro to Judaism, 18 weeks, is coming up with a Taste of Judaism. Prep, check the dates in your congregational email.
Well, we know your class is Tuesday night, and the Taste of Judaism is Wednesday night, Wednesday the 14th, I believe, and it's all online. So if you have an inkling that you may be interested in a online, at least initially, Intro to Judaism class, please check it out. Check us out on Wednesday night. You can make just let us know you're coming through our TBI emails. There's an Eventbrite page you could register on. All sorts of ways to make us know, make us able to welcome you more. That's all.
And gather close to those who you're home with, parents, siblings, grandparents, whoever you're there with. And we'll close with our family blessing.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you with good and keep you safe.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God be with you and be kind to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom shalom.
May you always know that God is close, and may God give you the gift of peace. Shabbat Shalom, Chag Sameach. Hope to see you all soon.
Shabbat Shalom, Chag Sameach. See you tomorrow night for Havdalah at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Havdalah, Zoom Siyum Havdalah, 7 p.m. tomorrow night. Have a great Shabbat.